We join you here from Mumbai, from Marine Drive. The skies are overcast. It's been raining continuously all of yesterday and right until this morning. A morning which, as you just said, has been opened really with the news coming in from Nagpur that finally Yakub Memon has indeed been executed a short while ago. This after a night which saw a hearing that lasted for almost close to 2 hours, starting almost at about 2 or 3 in the morning and going on right up until 4:30. So it was very much a case of twists and turns till the last minute. But the Supreme Court finally ruling against Yakub Memon's appeal to dismiss his plea, and the jail authorities in Nagpur going ahead with the execution. Let me just go back to Tejas Mehta, who is in Nagpur. And Tejas, I know that obviously we are trying to report this. This is a grim business, the business of execution. And we will come back to Tejas also for more details on that. But let's also go across to Siddharth Pandey, who joins me from the Supreme Court and who was also tracking this late night legal battle that was unfolding, an unprecedented battle, as we've been saying. Siddharth, take us through some of the twists and turns of that legal battle, which has now finally culminated with Yakub Memon's execution.
Well, that's right, Vasu. In fact, it was just yesterday that the same bench had actually said that it had upheld the death warrant. It had said that there was no procedural lapse in issuing that warrant. Those were the grounds that Menon's lawyers essentially had brought to the court to challenge the death warrant, but the Supreme Court had upheld the death warrant, saying there was no lapse in procedure. It also had said that there was absolutely no error in the formation of the curative bench, which actually heard the curative petition, and that was again a challenge which Menon's lawyers had brought to the court. So those two pleas had been turned down, and after that late night, his lawyers actually approached the Chief Justice of India at his residence. They went with a petition saying that since the mercy petition by the President had been turned down, essentially he needed 14 days within which to now look at his legal remedies, to try and perhaps appeal that once again, and also perhaps to try and ready himself for the inevitable. So they were asking for a time window of at least 14 days. And it was the Supreme Court finally then got the same bench which had heard this matter yesterday and day before to sit on this. It finally deliberated through the night, as you said, and early in the morning it had said that it was not going to interfere. In fact, Deepak Mishra, the justice out here, actually said that it would now be a travesty of justice if this order was not carried out, and also saying that ample opportunity was granted to the convict after rejection of the first mercy petition. So just some of the observations by the Supreme Court, essentially not intervening,
right,
saying that the order, the death warrant is essentially, it would not interfere in that order.
Yes, that's right. I mean, I think the main argument that was made by Yakub Memon's lawyers was that the earlier mercy petition which had been filed and which was rejected by the President was filed by his brother, and therefore this petition is a fresh petition which has been rejected, and they should be given more time after that to try and appeal against it. But the court said that that earlier petition was in fact something which Yakub Memon never rejected, and that there was sufficient time. The petition was filed in April of 2013. It was rejected in April of 2014, and it was communicated to him in May of 2014 itself. So there was sufficient time for him to challenge it, which he didn't. But of course, those legal technicalities now fading into the background with the formalities of the execution being completed. I believe I can go back to Tejas Mehta, who joins me on a phone line from Nagpur. Now, Tejas, I was just going to ask you that I know I think at the moment you're at the hotel, and also the media has been kept some distance from Nagpur prison. But are there any further details about what is emerging from the jail in terms of the completion of the executing formalities? And obviously, Yakub Memon family also must be with him, or were with him earlier at the jail.
Well, Vasu, I mean, the timing is something only academic of nature now, because it's somewhere between 6:30 and 7, closer to 7 itself, where Yakub Memon was hanged at the Nagpur Central Jail, and this was largely as per the Supreme Court order. It was supposed to be at 7 o'clock, and also as per the jail manual, because generally they prefer it earlier in the morning before sunrise, so that there is least disturbance to those who are carrying out the death sentence and also to the death convicts themselves. So Yakub Memon is dead. It was his birthday today, of course, his 53rd birthday, and he is the first accused in the 1993 Bombay blast case, where 123 people had been tried and 11 were sent to the gallows. Of course, 10 other accused were given some reprieve by the Supreme Court, and their sentences have been commuted. But after 23 long years, for many of the families of all those who died, and of 713 victims and 257 people who lost their lives, this is some sort of, they would feel some sort of justice for them. It has taken very long for that, denouement of the entire, very long, massive trial of 17 long years, and then the appeals being challenged in the Supreme Court. It has taken very long, but this is the first and the only death sentence which will be carried out in the 1993 Bombay blast case.